everyone, this is Bishra Khan. Welcome to SAMAA podcast. Today I'm very excited to introduce you all to my special guest. She is South Asia's first woman in men's T20 cricket franchise. By profession, she is an electrical engineer, and she has also been a media manager of Islamabad United PSL franchise, whereas she is also a certified project manager from Forsyth University. But you know what? Her passion for cricket brought her into the sports field in Pakistan, and she's now internationally recognized. And it's quite rare when we talk about Pakistan. Very few females are working and representing Pakistan in sports and cricket field. And yes, I'm talking about the dynamic and boss lady of Multan Sultans, Miss Hijab Zahid. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum, Bishra, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you for being here and taking out your precious time out of these cricket sort of a field, because I know it's a very busy days nowadays and everyone's schedulized into the coming session 2024. Yeah. So yes, how do you feel being general manager, as a female general manager of Multan Sultans?
Well, I just feel I'm a general manager. I've been a female all my life, so that's nothing new. But this position is definitely new. It's nice being recognized for the work I've done for the past couple of years. And obviously it gives a lot of confidence. It gives there's a lot of responsibility, you know, a lot of accountability, and a lot of freedom to make choices, which is very new. Which can be scary sometimes, but it definitely gives a whole new perspective into Pakistan cricket and, you know, PSL itself and everything. But yeah, it's a very, very exciting position.
Congratulations for having such a prestigious position you are at, and I just wish you just keep on acing it and keeping us proud.
Of course, thank you.
Whereas if I talk about the challenges, what kind of challenges you faced as a female general manager in Multan Sultan's whole field and community and group?
Challenges are there as far as this position is concerned, but it's mostly because this is kind of a learning on the job kind of thing, you know. Every day you learn new things and then you have to apply them right away, and there are a few risks you have to take. There are a few decisions that you have to make that I have never done before. So it's all about you know, there's a little bit of vulnerability when doing that, you know.
Yes,
since you
yes.
are the representative of a franchise, and any decision you take will always have consequences, good or bad. So you just want to make sure that whatever you're doing, you are basically thinking about all the different kind of scenarios and all different, you know, what ifs.
Ifs and buts.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so that could be very challenging, because that requires a lot of in-depth thinking, and I think by nature I'm an overthinker anyway. So that,
I think everyone is.
So that can get a little bit overwhelming sometimes. But it's always nice to have people around you who can share their experiences. You know, and guide you in certain ways, like our owner does, Ali Tareen, and he's been very helpful in every way. He's done this a few times before. Obviously, he has been a face of this franchise in the past as well. So he shares a lot of his knowledge and, you know, a lot of learnings and everything, and also gives me the confidence to go for it. You know, he just doesn't want me in the room. He wants me to lead the room, which is very different, very new. So
okay,
yeah, that could be challenging sometimes, but I think overall it's been a wonderful experience, and I have a great team. I enjoy working with them.
Good to know that. But what kind of response you get from your teammates or your colleagues within the Multan Sultans? Because obviously it's very, very, very difficult for a man to, you know, get dictated by a female. You know, it gets on their ego. It's a patriarchal society. So what kind of response you get from your teammates when you're dictating something as a boss lady?
I don't think I've ever received any kind of pushback on that.
Are you sure?
Yeah, not yet.
We'll
see what happens in the future. But see, the people I'm working with have a different kind of mindset. They're here after knowing that I've been appointed general manager. They're here by choice, and they're here because they are people who have worked in their own fields for a very long time, and you know, and I value their feedback a lot. So if they're sharing their feedback about something that have been done in the past, or something we can do, you know, maybe something new, I always value their opinions.
Yeah.
So I don't think I am very bossy in a way, that I'm not really a dictator or anything. But you have to have that authority to make decisions.
Obviously,
and everything.
when you are trying to certain authorities or into the concerned matters.
Exactly.
So it does help, you know.
Yeah. And there was definitely a transition period, you know, in which they had to make adjustments as well. You know, getting I wouldn't say commands. I would just say like maybe instructions
But
from
it's
me.
part
and
of your work, though.
It is.
So
it is.
Obviously, you have to do
there's
it.
a hierarchy. There's a hierarchy that I have. This is part of my job.
And something you have to bring at the table, you have to, I
Absolutely,
think. Yeah.
absolutely. Sometimes have to be stern. Sometimes you can be smiley. Sometimes you can even joke with them and stuff like that. But again, you have to keep a balance of all of these
Keeping a
things.
positive environment. And
Exactly,
that's what a
exactly.
good boss lady can do. Yes. Making an example and keeping an example for all of us. So when I talk about the connection between an electrical engineer and general manager
Yeah.
of sports field,
Yeah.
so what is that connection? How come you shifted yourself from an engineer directly into the sports field?
There's only one connection, which is being a Pakistani. Yeah. I mean, if you are a Pakistani, I think there's a 95% chance that you'll be obsessed with cricket. So I think
Alright.
that's the common factor in all of these things.
And you never opt for pursuing your career ahead with the degree you had taken?
I did for a while. Yes, I did. I graduated back in 2018, and I did for a while. But then I moved a little bit towards project management, although it was in the IT sector as well and everything. But I think cricket was, you call it Haseen Ittefaq. Yeah.
By a stroke of luck, you are into cricket
Stroke
now.
of luck, call it
Yes.
whatever. But
Yeah, and I am also wondering that there are few certain females as an electrical engineer, or who have just grabbed the degree into such field, which is quite rare. And yes, you are one of them, because obviously now you are general manager of Multan Sultan. So obviously, ab itna to banta hai.
Yeah.
Good. I am impressed.
I mean, agar aap ratio dekho of men, women in engineering field, there's definitely a lot of difference. When I did my degree, there was a lot of difference. I think we had like 10 women in the class probably as compared to 60 men. So there was a lot of difference. But I think ab shayad wo thoda kam hona shuru ho gaya,
Awareness zyada ho gayi, acceptance.
awareness zyada ho gayi, plus interest. It's all about interest. When certain people start coming into a new field, other people start taking inspiration from that.
Yeah.
So when you see success stories, it kind of gives you that boost, that confidence, that my gender doesn't have to hold me back.
That you are the source of motivation for others, obviously. You're
You could
breaking
be.
the ice.
Yeah.
Okay, sometimes जो चीज़ बहुत rare या unique लगती है,
Yeah.
if you are the one to take step into it, then there's a cue behind you.
Yeah, absolutely.
it's a good thing, by the way.
We can hope that there's a cue.
Yeah, of course, why not? So before I start asking about your career journey, I want to know what kind of person Hijab was when she was a student. How was your student life?
I don't want to say. I was a very non-serious person.
Really? I think you wear glasses, so maybe it gives that sort of
Nerdy
vibe, that Velma vibe.
Yeah.
That in Scooby-Doo, it was a Velma. You remember the geek and nerdy
I
all
was
the time?
a nerd in ways that I really cared about my grades and everything as a student, but I was always up for some fun, and I was always up for some mischievous things, because it's always been part of who I am. So when I was back in school, my mother used to be a teacher. So everybody used
In the
to keep
same
a very
school?
yeah, absolutely. Everybody used to keep a very close eye on me. I didn't really care much, but they did.
That's a very risky
But
thing.
one thing that you can do if you're a mischievous person, just make sure that your grades are good.
Yeah, that it
It
balances
takes
up.
care. It takes care of a lot of.
It does balance
It,
them.
it does
Yeah,
balance it out.
yeah.
Yes. So yeah, in university, I'd say I got a little bit more serious, because it's all about building your career and everything, and what you want to do in the future. And I always knew that I'll be working. I always knew that I wanted a career. So yeah, got a little bit serious as we got older.
So you took your certification in project manager from Fair University.
Yeah.
What made you choose that time?
Yeah.
Okay, you have to get certification in it, because it's quite rare to have project management certification and then come back to Pakistan, and then obviously you don't know, you're not too much certain about either you would get this field and you would pursue it and excel in it. So what made you take that decision at that time?
I think every student goes through that time, once they've picked a field or picked a major, and they're just worried whether it's the right decision or whether they're actually going to succeed in this field or not. But my decision to go for project management was because of one of my professors in engineering. They were very kind to me.
Okay.
And they were very, you'd say, I kind of took inspiration from them for this degree, I was very confused and double-minded as to what I want to do after engineering, and God forbid if I don't, make a career out of it, what am I going to do? So they mentored me in a way, and they told me that I'm more suited towards
good counseling
taking
session.
care of people rather than taking care of machines.
By the way, that's a good thing you're sharing right now, because every student every other day needs counseling from a good counselor.
Yeah.
So it does help in making a career and keeping someone at the right position.
Yeah.
So when I talk about Multan Sultans, so do you think now in the coming season of 2024, would they be able to win, bringing some new strategy or some new plannings ahead?
Multan Sultan has won one PSL.
Back in 2022 and 2023?
Yeah, just one. So that
2021.
was PSL
2021.
6. Yeah, that was PSL 6. Mohammad Rizwan was the captain. And they did win that tournament, which was probably the highest point for Multan Sultans. But even after that, if you look at their record in the past 4 years, they come out as the most successful team as far as the number of wins are concerned and the number of finals they've played. So after that, after winning that, HPL PSL 6 season, they've played consecutive 2 more finals after that, PSL 7 and PSL 8.
Yeah, but when we talk about Lahore Qalandars, you know, they are becoming a more developed team time by time.
Yeah.
And there is no doubt the last 2 sessions had been won by them.
Yeah.
So do you think you guys can beat them in the coming season? Or any new strategies or plannings are coming ahead just to beat the other team? Because they have been consecutively winning.
Yeah. I mean, they're a strong team.
Obviously, there should be a competition.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
Motivated.
They've got a lot of their bases covered. There was a chunk of time where they were in a rebuilding process, and when they came out of that, they were very successful. But for us as a team, we look at all of our all of the other teams in the kind of the same lens, because we gotta beat all of them to win. You can't just focus on one team and say, oh yeah, we just gotta beat them. No, it's not like that. You have to beat every single one of them. But every single one of them have different strengths. So the strategies depends a lot on your opposition every single time you come across them. So Lahore is a team that Multan Sultans have lost 2 finals to. So you can say there's a bit more focus on that, why they lost, or maybe we can cover those things up this time around.
So when I talk about Multan Sultans, obviously they have been a trendsetter franchise. Now what I have just heard recently, they are bringing 2 to 3 more female coaches, foreign female coaches. What's that agenda behind? Just to keep the balanced dominating female staff as well against the male dominating teams? Or maybe there's some other reason?
No, there's no agenda as such. So basically, the history behind or the reasoning behind bringing the 2 foreign female coaches, Catherine Dalton and Alex Hartley, is because our owner Ali Tareen has worked with them before, and especially for Catherine, she has been a part of our Tareen Academy now. Multan Sultan's Academy back in Lothra, and she has been to Pakistan a few times now. She has worked with a lot of PSL bowlers, a lot of first-class bowlers, like Arshad Iqbal, Sameen Gul, and she's helped them a lot in increasing their pace and other technical things that she could do. So it was because of that experience that Ali had with Catherine that when he took over the franchise, he told me that the first appointment after mine would be Catherine's. So it wasn't because we wanted a balance between male or female coaches or anything like that. It was just because we were all mighty impressed with what she's been able to achieve as a coach. And we just wanted everybody to take advantage of that. And hopefully we'll be able to, make an environment where she's appreciated just as much as any other coach.
I get it. But when I talk about when there is a hiring of another female within the female staff, so there is always a sense of insecurity that's lingering around. Is there any sense of insecurity within your Multan Sultan's team or not?
No, I don't.
Because it's a general human instinct.
Yeah.
And the kind of environment and the politics and this, the way I'm asking you.
Yeah.
So do you feel there is such vibe or such vibes or any element of such?
No, I think insecurity ki jo baat aap kar rahi hain, that's very subjective. It depends on who you're working with. You can work with people who can be insecure of you because of your achievements or your gender, if you want to say that. But if you're working with people who look at your qualifications, look what you can do for the team, and precisely look at you from that lens, I think it's that insecurity element gets eliminated. So I don't believe that there's any insecurity or any kind of hesitance in working with them. as far as our experience is concerned till now, and we hope that it becomes a thing that maybe some other franchises can adopt in the future as well.
Why not? If you guys are setting an example, then why won't any other franchise would not adopt and bring it on?
Yeah,
obviously it's for the betterment of Pakistan in the end. When we talk about it. So when I talk to Miss Hijab Zahid, General Manager of Multan Sultans, so I want to know from you, since you are at such a prestigious position, that what kind of strategies and plans you have developed or mapped out for the coming season and for the coming season's matches for your Multan Sultans team in 2024.
I can't really tell you my strategy now, can I?
But it's okay, you can actually
can't reveal that. But obviously
something in generic which can relate.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there were certain elements that have held Multan Sultans back maybe in the past 2 seasons. So it's important to diagnose those.
Obviously, yes.
So it's important to diagnose those things. As far as the game is concerned, a lot of factors on the field and off the field may have held them back, and we just want to make sure that we don't repeat the same mistakes over and over again. Kind of get to a point where we have learned from those mistakes and do better. Yep.
So you guys are gearing up yourself for the big day, right?
Well, obviously, everybody is.
All right. Yes, everyone is.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when I talk about Multan Sultans again, obviously, how do they hunt and give chance to young freshers in developing them and polishing their skills and bringing them onto the platform where they are recognized and then representing Pakistan in the end?
So our plan basically is to develop a program under which we can identify these kind of players, these youngsters that come through different cycles. Maybe they're coming through the domestic, maybe they're coming directly from their universities or schools and anything like that. So we have a Multan Sultans Academy set up in Lodhra in South Punjab, and in that academy we have different camps with foreign coaches, with local coaches who are able to identify this kind of talent for us. In the past, we have had our assistant coach Mohammed Wasim work in that academy. We have had Catherine work in that academy. So these are the people who are well aware of the dynamics that we have in that particular area. And in the future, we'd like to extend this, I'd say, series of academies to the whole Pakistan, inshallah. So we just don't want to keep it limited to a certain region. We kind of want to spread that and maybe, hunt for that talent that you talked about. But in the past, we've had really good experiences. We have had local players, like the biggest example that comes to my mind is Faisal Akram. He's now playing for Multan Sultans. He came through that academy. He came through that talent program that we did. And our plan is not just to have this for the men's team, but also for the women's team as well.
I want to know who is the most promising player of Multan Sultans.
Promising player? There's so many of them.
You can name even if there are 2 to 3 to 4 to 5, you can just name all of them.
I think I'd say in their own sense or in their own department, they're all very promising, because that's the reason they're here. It's the biggest stage, it's the biggest league that the country has, and the reason they're here is because they're exceptional.
Can you please name any 2 or any 3 of them?
I think if I fast bowling ki baat karun, to Abbas Afridi is somebody who really stands out. He has I'd say improved or maybe polished his skills a lot in the past couple of years. He ended up as an emerging bowler. He ended up as the highest wicket taker in the last season, which is a huge feat for a bowler. And agar baat ki jaye batting ke hawale se, to the name that comes to my mind, the name I'd say I'm most excited about this time is probably Iftimania. Somebody who can take the game away from you like this. Whether it's bowling or batting or fielding, he's always a very dynamic player. And obviously, to top it all, the captain that we have, his presence, his mind, his plans, his technical knowledge, and his tactics on and off the field are something that's really helpful for the team. So the reason why Multan Sultans have been so successful is because he plans everything and he executes everything like he plans it. And then he leaves the rest to his team, and he has this bond and this kind of trust that he creates within the team and within the guys. That's really nice to see. So he's a very charismatic personality, and I've yet to see him on the field.
Keeps you connected.
I've yet to see him on the field this closely, but every interaction that I've had with these players, and every opinion that I've heard of them, about their captain is something that they really admire him.
Giving a sense of confidence to every team.
Yeah,
That's
really gives you a sense that he is a leader in every sense of the way.
These are the qualities a captain should have.
Yeah.
I think then he can deliver something good and keep himself connected with the team.
Absolutely.
So when I talk about the match winner, what do you think? Who is the match winner?
You have a different match winner in every game. That's the beauty of a T20 format.
So this time, do you think, yes, you could do something, in bringing the trophy or something?
If I can do.
No. I'm asking that this time, while having conversations with the team during training sessions, do you talk to any of your cricket teammate that this time you could be the match winner, bringing trophy?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think a lot of coaches do that.
So I'm talking about who are those 2 to 3 cricketers?
All of them. You can't pick one. See, that's the thing about T20.
That's something very diplomatic. No, I want to know 2 to 3 cricketers.
No. That's the thing about T20 format. You cannot pick and choose and say, this position seems to be the strongest one and this player seems to be the strongest one. Only they can win us the game.
When you are teaching and there are 12 to 15 students in a class, you still have that idea and you can actually gauge around.
Yeah, but
a class is
a year-round thing, A class or a thing is a year-round thing. This is a 30-day tournament in which you play maybe 15-20 games. So you have to back every single one of them to be the match winner, because you can't just rely on a couple of people and say, you all are supporting characters and these are the main characters.
No, obviously you can't say that. Obviously that's not ethical to, demotivate one of them and then bringing some motivation and bringing them onto the first highlighting them.
Every single player is a match winner if they're on the field.
So now the crux is that now I should take it as that you are just saying that all of your cricketer and teammates are equal and it's uncertain that any one of them could bring trophy back home.
Absolutely.
Because all are just training hard and hard.
Every single one of them wants to bring the trophy. That's
the
most
there is a
important
big strategy coming ahead.
Obviously, they want
there is
to
something cooking in Multan Sultans, right?
There's always something cooking in every franchise.
This time I think this could be big because you guys obviously have to beat the competitors. When we talk about the Lahore Qalandars, they have been winning the last 2 sessions consecutively. So now I think this time the trophy should go to Multan Sultans. I can just hope for the best. And yes, of course. So yes, Hijab, what are your likes and dislikes?
I like to sleep.
You like to sleep?
Yeah. I don't get to sleep much because of the work I have. And because like everybody that I speak to are in different, time zones around the world and everything. So you kind of have to be active throughout the time. But anytime that I get to myself, I just want to take naps and just want to sleep and refresh.
Throw yourself onto the bed and you want sleep. Okay, I get it.
I mean, yeah, we can say that. I do like to read a lot and movies.
Netflix or Amazon?
All of it. I'm not picky.
So, what are you watching nowadays? Or the recent movie you watched?
I don't remember anything that I've watched recently.
Are you into thrill, action, or romantic genres? Or
I'm into everything. It's not. I don't pick. Movies by genres.
And you like watching alone or with a group of friends?
Depends on what kind of thing I'm watching.
All right. All right.
I mean,
Here comes the naughty hijab.
A lot of time
I get it.
like to watch the the horror movies and stuff like that, but my family does not really appreciate that, so kind of have to watch it alone. So yeah, it depends on what I'm watching and if people are interested in that. I'm a huge comic books fan, so since childhood, so I follow comic books and comic book movies and shows a lot.
When I talk about your favorite cricketer internationally, obviously there would be someone. No, that's unfair. No? It is obviously.
Look,
why are you using the word obviously again?
If you want to talk about favorite cricketer ever, like Pakistan and international included, that would be difficult to pick. But for a very, very, very long time, one cricketer that I've really admired and I've really liked watching and I think was very, I felt was one of my favorites was Brendan McCallum from New Zealand.
I get it. Good. And when I talk about the Pakistani film industry, is there any actress or actor you like?
Pakistani film industry?
Yes. We have certain names.
We do. There's a lot of names that are swirling around my mind, but I think the only one that stands out, or somebody who maybe I'd like to interact with someday, is Fawad Khan.
And if you have to choose an ambassador for Multan Sultans, who it could be?
I cannot answer that because
if I give you options, 3 to 4 options, it's okay.
I mean, it depends
There's no
on
harm
which
in
industry they belong
sharing
to.
your thoughts.
No, I mean, it depends on what industry they belong to. So if you want to give me an option, that'd be fine. I can pick one.
Mahira Khan, Mehwish Hayat, Fawad Khan. मतलब इन्हीं में से कुछ बता दें.
I think if I'm choosing an ambassador, I think it would be somebody who is a little bit more connected to the sports itself.
Alright.
Maybe Pakistan sports, because it's a way of interconnecting different sports in Pakistan. And I know cricket gets a lot of mileage in Pakistan, but maybe we can promote some other sports through, you know, maybe appointing an ambassador from a football team or maybe Pakistan women's team or something like that. I think that would be I'd be more inclined to do that. You know,
with the knowledge of sports, that would be better,
and just
relevant to it.
and just a general feeling of, you know, representing Pakistan on an international stage. I think that would
so
be.
you have to have the knowledge, yes,
Yeah, so
that skills.
Kind of want to bring them all under the same umbrella and, you know, support a team that they feel connected to. Yeah.
So tell me, Miss Hijab, are you foodie? Since you are Lahore based, I must say
am
you
actually
would
from
be.
Islamabad. I live in Lahore because I have to work here, but I am actually from Islamabad. But I think I'm a foodie, but I am also a very picky eater. Like, I am very particular about what I
What do you
eat.
have the first thing when you wake up? The first activity you do?
After waking up? As far as food is concerned.
No, not food.
Yeah.
There's another question that just came into my mind.
Yeah.
The first activity that you do when you wake up?
I don't know, it depends actually.
No, I'm not asking you to.
Yeah.
Obviously, restroom तो सभी जाते हैं.
Yeah.
उसकी बात नहीं करी मैं.
Yeah.
मैं कह रही हूँ, any particular thing you do, using your phone, checking out
I think the
something?
first thing that I do is whenever I wake up, I speak to my mother.
All right.
Since I live apart from her, and you know, I feel that I live apart from her. She lives in Islamabad, I live in Lahore. I'm not really used to being away from her for long periods of time. So the first thing I do, it's either she waking me up or me waking her up whenever we wake up. So yeah, I think that's the first thing I do usually.
So you manage cooking yourself?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you cook
Gotta
yourself?
manage everything.
Nice. So first the special.
I'm not a great cook or anything, if that's what you're asking me. If I make like a 6-course meal for myself, I do not.
That's so tough.
Yeah.
Anyways, when I talk about breakfast,
Yeah.
what do you usually consume daily in breakfast?
Eggs, coffee.
Boiled eggs or fried eggs?
Depends on the mood, depends on the day.
And what about lunch
Depends on
and
the
dinner?
weather.
What about lunch and dinner?
Usually sandwiches, milkshakes, fruits, things like that.
Do you avoid junk food?
Not at all. I love junk food.
And if I talk about any of your favorite song, then when you are heading to office, do you listen to any of your favorite song?
I cannot tell you what kind of songs I listen to, honestly.
Every person has different choice. It's okay.
No,
no one is going
I'll
to
be
judge you for
cancelled.
that.
You can ask people who ride with me to the office and, you know, maybe back, and they all hate my playlist. But I'll tell you one thing, I have a very extensive playlist. It ranges from 80s classic to latest pop, rap, whatever you want to call it. I have about 3,500 songs on my playlist.
So could you name any of the one that comes onto your mind right now instantly?
Yeah, Moths to the Flame by The Weeknd.
It's an English song, right?
Yeah.
What about any Urdu song?
I think Urdu song,
Or any Qawwali sort of a genre or something. Something which has Urdu in it.
There are a lot of songs that I listen to that have Urdu.
Any
in it.
that comes in your mind instantly, you know, any?
Not really. I think mostly I listen to the Coke Studios songs.
Yeah, so any of the song you could name?
Kannayari, I think I was listening to it.
Good.
Coming to
All
the office
right.
this morning.
So it was a very lovely conversation having with you, and I really appreciate that you took out your precious time and became part of SAMAA's podcast. Thank you, Hijab Zahid, for being here, and thank you guys for watching us today. There was a lot more information to share with you guys regarding the coming matches, and when we talk about Multan Sultan, so yes, just gear up yourself because Multan Sultan is coming ahead with new strategies, new plannings, and just, coming with, I must say, vengeance. And you guys would see in the field that how are they performing and playing, and might possible, you never know, they are the one who are winning this time and bringing trophy to their home, Multan Sultan. So just stay tuned. Bushra Khan Slaving till to date, and I'll definitely catch up with you guys in the next episode. Till then, just do not forget to share, like, and subscribe our SAMAA podcast as usual. Bye-bye.